Hello and welcome to another deck profile on our channel. Today we have Thibaut. He makes top 4 on the Treasure Cup in Birmingham. Yeah, Thibaut, how are you? And yeah,
I'm well. Been back in Belgium since Monday. I'm still feeling tired of the event. I slept really bad. I think I only slept 8 hours for 2 days just because of the stress and anxiety to play well. It was my first big tournament of a card game since June, and I really want to do well. So I took it because it's, in my opinion, one of the most consistent deck in
mm,
the meta,
yeah,
and it's also my favorite leader to play, and that's really important in my opinion that you play what you like. Also, like if you don't like the deck, even it's a meta deck, don't play. Just play what you want. In my opinion, like if you like blue, just play blue. If you like purple, play purple. In my opinion,
yeah, yeah. You feel better with kit. Is I think in the meta is very open and every deck can win or top on the event. But yeah, maybe we go straight to your deck profile.
yeah, sure. So first standard, we're starting with four bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
Just search there. That's your main card to get your engine starting. To search a 7 cost, search a 8 cost, and everything. It's just a really good searcher. Then we're going to four Capone, which just for the block.
Mm-hmm.
Really cheap blocker, perfect when you play it after I think Hokkaido. You can play one or two and then make sure they cannot hit life.
Mm-hmm.
10 for killers, also more blockers, but also for the card where it's really good in my opinion. The extra card can really help you out to protect your 8 cost or protect your life.
Mm-hmm.
Who's playing for a pause, just pure for the counter value. You never play this almost maybe in the blue matchup when it's really grindy, then you can maybe play, but I just mainly use it for counter.
Yeah, and it's searchable.
So yes, for the save also. Then we're going straight to Wano. I'm playing for Neko. You see, I'm not playing Momo because, in my opinion, it's a bad card in how the meta is involved now. Like 3 weeks ago, I would say you should play that two or three, but now you can cut it. It buttons your supernovas. Like in a game against Kit, my opponent was playing Momo, and like 3 turns later, he still had found 8 cost Kit, 7 cost Kit. Well, I had him on the field. Just
Mm-hmm.
and I asked him after the game, where were they? Yeah, I bought the deck all with Momo. So, but while we were searching moment, I was searching for answers. Like
Yeah,
I didn't even have the Iku or Hawkins. I just played 7 cost, 8 cost. Like deal with it. He couldn't deal with it. My opinion. That's why Momo. If you have a 7 cost or 8 cost in hand or Hawkins, then you can do Momo. If you have neither one, and you really need to dig for answers. And you bottom all your good supernovas. So that's why I cut it. And the top two list of Birmingham also don't play Momo.
mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, it was the best meta call. You just skip it.
Yeah. I see it on stream. You play very good with a 7 cost kit. I think it was
Yes,
Mirror on top 8 like
yes.
this or every yeah like this.
Yeah, I'm mainly focused for 7 cost in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion because it's I can attack every turn for like 8 or 9 depending how much door you give to it,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot target it. So if I can maintain my life to a relative okay state and I have other blockers on the field,
Mm-hmm.
I just keep swinging with it. Like they cannot target it, so it's in fact that each turn like base 7, but normally you always give a don't fit. So it's 8 swing to face. You always need to at least drop 2 cards for it, or more, depending on how much you attach it, or already lose a blocker. And if you
Yeah.
have straw cards in your hand, you can rest an important character also with it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like for me, it's like an 8k basic 8k beat stick that swings every turn. It's amazing. That's why I play three. I always want to see it on the curve against any match except blue because they can bounce it.
Yeah.
But when it's really late game and I have 8 cost on the field, I have blockers on the field, I'll just play it. So to waste Mihawk or Dofi and can Sophie on it. So yeah, why you're losing momentum, but they cannot if they have if I have 8 cost on the field, and they're spending 7 or 9 down to bounce my 7 cost away. They cannot out my 8 cost if I have blockers on the field.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
very
get
nice.
extra turn to just swing or just to kill the characters.
Mm.
People play don't play 7 cost. You can play it if you have 8 cost blocker, let's say a Kiku, and then you play 7 cost. They need to out that card. If they cannot out it, it's again
Yeah,
make a swing turn.
yeah, very good
So we
strategy.
that's my strategy.
Mm.
So we put 4 Kikus
Yeah.
because you're not playing Momo. You need to have 4 Kikus. When I
Mm.
was playing Momo, I was a 3 Kikus because I could search them, but it's such a good card. So with no Kikus, I would bump it to 4.
Mm.
So I'll play 4 Isus just for the counter, and also it comes up that can rest a character like against the law. I used it quite often. Against other matches, I try to keep it in hand just to counter.
Mm.
I'm playing 2 X-Rakes. This is purely for the blue and for the purple match.
Okay.
For blue, because I can put it behind an 8 cost kit and it can swing with 1 dawn for 7k. Also, my leader gets stronger, and my other supernovas also get 1k extra. So my 8 cost kit with a dawn becomes a 10.
Mm.
That's already really hard to deal with for the opponent. Okay, it can get bounced by Dolphy and Mihawk, but they're really wasting 7 or 9 down to bounce and 4 cost to my hand. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And after Kaido, Tenko's Kaido dropped, you play this on the field. If they can out it, sure, but like you normally place on the field at 10, 3 downs, 3 leader, 8, 8, 3 down, we stand, 8. Normally there are at least 2 hits. If he's
Mm.
blocking out, he has almost 0 cards in hand left, or maybe 1 or 2. If he can out this, sure. If he cannot out this next turn, 1 down, it's a 7k. Give more down to my leader. Keep swinging for 9k for 6 down, 7 down. I have 3 down left. Okiko on the field. Now I have Okiko and an X-Drake on the field.
Oh.
So if he can kill this, there's still no Okiko left to deal with.
Mm.
So he needs a 9 cost or a king to deal with this. But he's all using all down to kill my characters, but he cannot play the blockers.
Yeah.
If he plays queen, he cannot out this.
Yeah.
If he's king and he can put the blocker on it, I have Nakamushi in my hand. Rest Nakamushi again, two times space.
Yeah.
You have
Very
2 times
nice.
life.
Very
So
good.
in my opinion, special cards. It's only a 2 because it only comes for 2 matches.
Mm.
If it's not 2 matches, I mostly use it for counter unless I'm going second. I have no Okiku and I need to play something to have a bit of momentum. In certain matches, I'll play this, but it rarely comes up.
Yeah. And it's
So
searchable.
it's search also. That's why I also play it. I'm playing for Bepos, pure for the counter. In my opinion, it's really needed in this meta.
Mm.
Like I'm playing 12 2k counters, so my 8 cost kit can survive much longer and I can maintain my life much better against aggressive decks like Zoro or Luffy. It's really needed. Like, I was on 1 before, but I bumped it to 2. And then I was cutting all the cards and seeing what can I cut for this. And now I'm at 4 and always keep it at 4. Like for this, open 1, 4 is better. Like you
Mm.
can keep your 8 cost kits so long alive. They against Rat you can out with Jet Pistol and Utama, but other matches can almost never out it. So that's why, and if you can block for 14k, if it's really needed, and can survive 1 more turn extra, you have so much momentum back. If you have Bunny in the field, you can search more, or drop a 7 cost, or drop another 8 cost, or keep swinging for life, or trying to build up your wall. And if one dies, you have another one already. So he's wasting 1 or 2 turns killing it,
Mm.
cannot kill it, or once he kills it, there's a new one on the field already, or you had already so much momentum that his life are so low that you can just swing 2 times with your leader or swing with the rest of your board.
Yeah.
So I'm playing 2 Law. This is a card that I was debating for very long. It was first it was to 1, then it was to 0, and now it's back to 2 again. Um, this was more in the beginning. So I first was trying. So what I first had when I dropped this, I was running to Momo again,
Um.
and then I was saying, I need to cut something because of this, because it's very good to have a Nekomusho is on the field. I can bounce it. I can play uh, Okiku. I can rest a character like against no one. It's very important too,
Mm.
and it's also a blocker, but doesn't counter. So that was the main reason I cut it.
Mm.
but it was too good. It was too good. It's a blocker. It can bounce cards like with the with draw law Okiku combination. It's so much. It's so good. Like when I'm at 6 dawn, I'll swing one. I'll give a dawn to Okiku. Swing 6 for life. Rest the character. 5 with my leader to the character arrested. 2
Mm-hmm.
law bounce. Take play back Okiku now, and he needs to have a rester or jet pistol or king depending on the match.
Yeah, yeah.
Very amazing value in my opinion. So I have a blocker and Okiku, and she needs to out Okiku, else I keep getting value. It doesn't come up very often, but when it comes up, it's still good. But like at 2, it's maximum. More would be not beneficial for the deck.
Yeah, yes, it's one of the best cards in the game, but two is enough for kid. It's a staple in law, but
Yes, for law. But in my opinion, it's also searchable.
yeah,
So
yeah,
who's not?
you
I'm
only
playing
need
2
two.
Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
It's really amazing against the Kit Mirror, against Brett. It's okay, but it can just pistol very easily.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mainly used. I mainly use it against Git Mirror because it's the main is in value. They need Straw Sword to out it, which a lot of don't play. So it's basically staying until the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This won me my match to qualify for top 16. I had no board. He had a 7 cost and 8 cost, and a blocker on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I played this. I drew into this. I played it. I had a couple other cards in hand that were not useful, mainly counters. And upon Gibson, I swung 2 times. Um, I got rid of a blocker and a couple of cards of his hands. Next turn, I used it for 10k. I killed his 8 costs.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I rested a character with Ikemushi, killed 8 costs, swung with my leader for life, swung with this for life, and he just had not enough to count to counter out. So he had 2 cards in hand; they were not blocking enough for 8. So 8 to life, he could not counter with 2 cards in hand enough. So I won, qualified for top 16. So this card is amazing. I'm thinking if I look back at how many kits I played, I would have put this at 3 because it's an amazing card but doesn't count. That's the main thing that I did add a third one. But looking back, how much kit I faced, I would have bumped this to 3 if I knew it beforehand.
Yeah,
It's one of the best cards against kit, and with kit so prominent in UK, I would have liked it at 3.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm playing 3X Drake. That's mainly for the Zoro match
Mm-hmm.
because it's when you can kill the Zoro character on the field and then a couple of turns later you play Luffy. You that have this on the field. If text with Luffy, you can put 2 down onto it, swing for 8 to the Luffy. He needs 2 cards in hand to block. Rarely happens in my opinion. If they have
Mm-hmm.
two enough to counter, or most of the hand is non-block, it doesn't counter, so that's very beneficial for you. Um, I mainly play it just because like I can kill it. The effect is nice, but effect is really nice if you can put a dog, but it's also like 6k beater. If I don't have anything in a hand, I'll just play 6k just to have some pressure on the board. If I have nothing in a hand, it's not the best, but it's still something.
Yeah,
It's also like if I only need to use 2 down to attack Luffy with it, I can keep my other down in the hand to play some also to play like blockers or something like that. Or if he blocks it out, I can give down to my leader, swing in with to it. I wasted 5 downs. I'll just play for 5 down, maybe a killer and Okiku. Oh, that's fine. Else,
mm-hmm.
if I need to do something else with my hand, it's a very good card. Like killer, I'm not a fan of it because it's when it's played, it doesn't do much on board. If you say you're playing 3 or 4 laws, then killer will be better. But with law to 2, this is much better in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That's a very good
playing
card.
3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's the card that I try to play every game on curve except against blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best cards. 1 down attached, 3 stands, 8k swing. Most of the time it goes to life or against a character that really needs to get killed. It's very good in the mirror against Kaido, against Zoro, where I also played it. It's a 7k blocker. Most of the times they try to out it, and when they out it, I'll just play eight cost king, eight cost kit after it, and they cannot out it because they're already wasting two cards to out it, and the eight
Mm.
cost keeps standing. When it's rested, I'll put just enough blockers on the field, and they cannot get past it. So this was the one of the most important cards that won me a lot of matches. At four, it would be too much because it doesn't counter, but at three, it's perfect. It's also searchable. It's my first card I search almost in any game when I'm looking for with bunny.
Mm.
Eight kit. I'm most of the time when in the top eight I pitch uh, the eight cost kit most of the time because in my opinion I didn't have the opportunity to play it and I needed to have more pressure, and also I can attack once with the eight cost kit, but after that it gets targeted, and I rather had something on board that could swing every turn that was almost not targetable except it's straw sword, but only playing one or two straw sword, the chances of that happening against straw sword were very slim in my opinion, and you also need to take a bit of risk.
Mm.
Cannot account for everything. If they have a good hand, you cannot do anything about it. I'm playing three eight costs,
Okay.
um, mainly for like aggressive matches or matches where I had enough time to build up my wall that they cannot out. Well, like against blue, my main objective is to have enough counters in hand at one life. Then I'll play this. I play this. I rest it. I'll play a blocker, and then I have most of the time blocker, eight cost kit, and Rokiko on the field.
Yeah.
Three blockers, eight cost. He already needs so many cards to out. I try to keep the field as clean as possible. X-Ray is also a good thing for that. Once I have my wall up, taking it out eight cost, I also have like 8 or 10 cards in a hand because I keep throwing my life.
Mm.
And once they start swinging, I keep counting out. The blockers get away. I play a new blocker or I play Barney, search for more blockers, and then I just pressure for life. Once they cannot get, and once they kill it, most of the time they're at such a low life that I can just kill them next turn, or I'll play a new one, and I'll play new blockers on the field, or if I can develop a Hawkins on the field, if they cannot out of the turn after I play it, I can just swing into all the characters for basically free. Like four down is nothing. When they have a seven cost Dolphy, I get 4 or 5 down to it. Keep swinging 11, restand 11 to something else. He needs a lot of cards in hand to block to counter it out,
Mm.
which most of the time they will have not in my experience, depending on how far we in the game,
Mm.
or they have 1 or 2 key counts maximum. So when it's dropped and they cannot out it, next turn the field is wiped, and then I'll keep swinging with my 8 9 with my 8 cost kit with my leader to life. And once I'm far enough, I'll just end the next turn. It's a very good card, but in the kit mirror, I try to use it. If I don't have the time to use it, I'll just pitch it away because I rather have counters in my head. If I like 1K counter, 2K counter, 2K counter, and this, and when I need pressure, I'll just pitch it away
Yeah.
because I like to keep my hand with counters. If I really need to do something and I have two more in the deck and have 3 7 cost, I'll draw into something. Like
Yeah.
I rather
Yeah.
have something that blocks that can interact on the person's turn than keep something that doesn't counter.
Mm.
And then I'm playing Tupen Gibson. It's mainly for the trigger out of life that can arrest the character. The 4K doesn't come up that often. It's mainly for Zoro, or if mainly for Zoro that I can save my life at 4K. In the other games, I don't think it ever came up. I had it in hand, but I tried to use my Dawn more efficiently to kill the characters. Like if I'm leaving two Dawn open, it's only because I did all the stuff I wanted on the turn.
Mm.
Keeping Dawn open, in my opinion, it's not that efficient. Like if I keep two then open, it's because I know I can kill all the things, or I did all the things that I want to. I'll keep two then open. I'll even if I don't have a hand, then I'll fake I have it in hand. You need to play around it. Like two then open, always need to think ahead. He has on Gibson, so you need to play around it.
Yeah.
But most of the time they don't got it. So most of the time I'll just go like, okay, he doesn't have it. If he has it, like I can adapt my plays a little bit, but you need to still do your plays on your turn. If he has it, okay, fine. I have another thing that can also swing into it if it's a really a threat I need to kill.
Mm.
And then my last card is Straw Swords. I only play one of because it doesn't counter. That's the main thing. As I would have played it two at least. it's very good. You can rest anything on the field. It's very, very good into the kit mirror. It can rest the seven cost is it's the only thing that can rest seven cost. So when I'm searching Bonnie for seven cost, I never have seven cost. I'll try to find this.
Mm-hmm.
If we're both on a like a movable field with seven costs, this can win. If I have a Hawkins in the field and this spade this, rest seven cost, Hawkins in it, I can silver cost. I have so much momentum now, and then I'll just go and then I know like I can grind it out very, very, very easily in my opinion. I can push it to another blocker, and then his field is open and just keep swinging for life. Hopefully, I have enough cards in hand or an 8 cost on the field or block on the field that I can survive next turn, and then just keep swinging next turn. I'll just finish it off.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very
Just,
good.
it won me 3 matches,
Mm. Ah,
and
okay.
it won
Interesting.
3 matches and it was 3 kit mirrors. It won me just because
Yeah.
of this one card. Because I when it's really late and you both have like your fill down,
Mm-hmm.
is clutch. It can rest them. It can rest the block against the Kaido. It also rests the queen that I needed to kill.
Yeah.
So so it's also at 3 kit mirrors it's 1 me and 1 Kaido match. So
Yeah.
it's 4 matches won with 1 card. So it's really amazing, but doesn't counter. I don't know if I maybe putting Hawkins to 3, I would maybe have put this at 2 because Hawkins at 2 I put this at 1.
Ah,
If
okay.
Hawkins at 3 I put this at 2
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's really amazing. It doesn't counter, so can maybe switch law alto for this or something else like X-Drake is like the story like X-Drake. If you say I'm not a fan of it or I don't need the counter, like that has a lot of counters, but X-Drake is for specific matches. Like you will not face a lot of blue at a Hawkins at one more, and I think in my opinion you would like a set against the Kid Mirror, like, and it's was my most played match in Burning Hand. So if I knew I would not have faced a lot of blue, maybe I would have added more Hawkins and more Straw Swords.
Yeah. Yeah. When we talk about your matchups, then talk about what was your full matchups from round till the end of the event. I think.
I got them right.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think
I
this
got
is
them.
your deck profile, and now we can go to the matchups. You explain it very well, your deck, very well, and it helps the player a lot. The kid players, it's very nice. And yeah, what
Yes.
was your matchups?
So round one was a Kid Mirror. I had a very um, blocker heavy hand, so I was mainly trying to put blockers on the field and search for my 7 cost 8 cost. I finally drew into my 7 cost and 8 cost, and
Mm-hmm.
then basically after that was game. I was at at 1 or 2 lives, and just when I have enough blockers on the field, I was just he was going for my life, so I was kept drawing cards because I knew I can just. I had 3 blockers on the field. I just needed a 7 cost or 8 cost. I drew into 7 cost. I drew into 8 cost. The match was over after that.
Oh,
I had
okay.
like 6 or 7 cards in my hand who could never out my 8 cost kits. So, and then when they're both established, I just kept swinging, and 2 turns later, I won already. So that was, in my opinion, he played way too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
And round two, I had my 7 cost and 8 cost on curve. He could not have done anything better. Like I had him 7 cost right at that 8 cost. He had no chance, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
just went over him. I think the game was done in like 8 9 turns
Okay.
because just as on curve. Then the round three was against the law, but what happens with law is it can break, and that's the main thing. I don't play law.
Mm-hmm.
It can break really hard, and that's a lot of things that law players will say. He had 3 laws in hand in the beginning of his hand. He mulliganed once, so even having that in hand, he didn't do a lot. Like I could express all his characters that he played. He basically had no field. I think turn 5 ish. Then he played Luffy, but I didn't have Kiku, so it stayed on the field for a couple of turns. He didn't attack with it because he needed characters on the board, but I played my 7 cost, played my 8 cost, and just kept pushing for his life. And I think 5 turns later already won. I never fell in danger. I had 2 lives left.
Mm-hmm.
Said I break hard with my 3 laws. I say yeah, that's the game, and that law can break.
Yeah.
So after that, played against the Dofi. That was my loss in the regular rounds. I didn't see my 8 cost kits. I played Okiku, but he played Teach after that, and then I played Hawkins. He killed something. Then I played Okiku. He bounced it back with We teach again. Then he bounced my Hawkins back with 9 cows Mihawk.
Mm-hmm.
So I was basically left with almost nothing because I needed 8 cost. I didn't have 8 cost. I put him to 0 life, but he had 3 love loves in hand at the end, so I could never go for the kill. That's really
Mm-hmm.
sad. He had no blocks healed, but I think he had 1 blocker on the field and but 3 love loves, and he had 6 done off up and 3 other cards in hand. I tried to push for it, but it didn't work out, sadly. But that's the game. That's the game. I knew when I didn't saw my 8 cost kit, I was going to lose, and 5 turns later I already lost.
Yeah.
Even though like it was at 0 life, I know at the end life of the Dofi he can just have a lot of counters, and I knew I could not out it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was break time, so I just walked around a bit to relax because I was a bit triggered because like when you're playing that way and you don't see your 8 cost kit when you can't do a lot or you know like you're trying your very best to win but you have just almost no chance.
Mm-hmm.
After that it was law again. Um, he tried to go for early board control, but I kept it very tight. He could not get more on the field. He was kept bouncing his bunny to the hand with law or others, or like he tried shambles, but he never had something on the board that mattered in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept crushing his life, trying to keep his board small. He was basically on 1, 2 cards the whole game. He could never really find something because he already using Dawn to play the bunny, then rest the bunny, shambles. So each turn he was basically on 6 Dawn only, which really helped me in my opinion. He got 2 laws on the board at one time, but it was enough. I kept pressuring. I had 7 costs. I had 8 costs on the field. I never felt in danger, in my opinion. Like that's how you should basically keep the board small. If they can't like play the Luffy or if they cannot pressure your life a lot, you're basically winning. And if they keep giving you cards in your hand, it's even better
Mm-hmm.
because you're getting more options. Then the round 6 was against Kaido. He had the perfect curve. He had Iceland into Queen, into King, into 9 cost, into 10 cost. He had everything. But I began with playing very aggressively, and that won me the game. I played 7 costs and then forced him to play 10 cost Kaido,
Mm-hmm.
which meant it was free, was empty. So I played the starter deck X-Ray. I swung 8 to life 2 times, and at the end, he had 1 block on the field. I think it was this. I think it was. Let me think. I know kick on the field and something else, and I swung for 9 for life, and he couldn't barely not out it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a close match. Like if he played it, if the card played it a little bit differently, he would have won. But when you're going aggressive, they don't know what to do. Like they say, oh, he's going aggressive. Like I'll take a couple of lives, doesn't matter. I can counter though. But no, I keep going aggressive. And then when he uses his 10 cost, minusing his own down, he had less opportunity to play stuff. I just kept going hard, just keep going aggressive, lay my field a little bit more down if I had the time, but I didn't have enough cards in. I didn't have the blockers in hand, so I kept pressuring, and eventually I won.
Mm-hmm.
It was like how you should play the card. I don't play it slowly, play it very aggressively. Most of the time, their hands will not block. Their 10 cost doesn't block, 9 cost doesn't block. They will not block with a queen out of a counter with a queen out of hand because they're basically losing a blocker and 2 cards into their hand, 2 cards extra, two
Mm-hmm.
minus one then. The king doesn't block, the other king doesn't block, Iceland doesn't block, so all these cards don't block. So always when I'm facing a Kaido player, if he has 6 cards in hand, at least three don't block in my opinion. So I need to think of the 3 other cards that can block, and that's how I approach it. If it's all counters, he doesn't have anything to play on his turn. It's also good. Then we go into another kit mirror.
Mm-hmm.
We both got our rolls up really fast, like 7 cost, 8 cost, everything. We all just kept trying to push each other, but it was not working. I drew straw swords at the end, and I could rest 7 cost, and then I pushed through his 8 cost. I killed the 7 cost, and after that, it was basically just get no field. I had everything on the field. I just won the match straight off there. Straw sword won me the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then round 8 is kit mirror again. Um, we both had our walls up, but he was playing 2 straw swords, so he was killing my field very fast.
Yeah.
Went to the Hawkins, through Stossard, rest his important characters, swung into it, and 10 for 8k. I could finish him off with two cards in hand, so he could have countered out if he had two costs, but the chances, in my opinion, playing into a regular kit deck are very slim. Like my kit deck, you should not try it swinging with 8 because I'll probably have some 2k. I'll probably have two 2k counters. That's what I'm always aiming for in my hand, having enough 2k counters just counter out of like dangerous situations for my life or for my 8 costs.
Yeah.
Um, after after that match ended, it was top 16, so I qualified for top 16. I went something to eat. I went to the hotel, slept very poorly because I was really hyped with energy of just quite getting qualified of top 16. So I didn't sleep. I slept very badly. So the top 16 started the next day. We first got a deck checked,
Mm-hmm.
and then we were guided to a separate area of the room where
Okay.
we were where decks needed to stay. So if we were going to the toilet, or decks could not leave, the decks were watched by the judge, so we could not alter them or do some stuff with it. Um, yeah, we were briefed. It took a bit of time. I think around 10ish we began. I was a 9th seat because my opponents had a very bad win rate. So I played against the 8th player,
Yeah.
and that was against Law. He chose me to go first, which I like. I like to go first against Law. I opened Barney, opened Okiku. I could rest all his stuff. I didn't have any problems with the match. I It was basically a free match for me. I never felt in trouble. I had Hawkins on the field. I threw the Law to 7 costs. Then the second match, I never saw my good cards. I didn't see Okiku, no Hawkins. 7 costs came way too late. He had his board up very fast. I think around turn 4. He had a board I could never push through. So after like 50 minutes, I say, okay, I cannot out it. I'll just stop.
Mm-hmm.
And round 3, he only saw red cards. So he was basically bricking.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what meant. That meant like I could just push him, push his life, and we were just beginning in overtime, and the first turn I killed him. So that meant like I got to Luffy promo. So I was very happy about that. That like I already got the main thing I was coming for, the Luffy promo, the Zoro, Sanji, Chopper.
Yeah.
So after that, I was on stream for the first time the whole tournament. They asked who was not on stream, and me and my opponent raised their hands. So we were led to the stream table.
Yeah.
And in that match, I was really feeling very tired. Like I was really mentally tired, physically tired, not sleeping well, all the time stressed. So I really thought I was going to lose this match because I was really not on my A game anymore, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we started. I had the highest seating, so I chose to go first. I had Barney, Okiku, Hawkins, 7 cost, 8 cost. So I think something. I had a good card. I had at the middle game. I had my the streamer say I had my Chinese wall up, and
Okay.
then basically
Yeah.
after that he could not win. So after 15 minutes or something like that, or 15 20 minutes, he gave up. So second round, I never had enough good cards to play. I was behind all game, and I think 20-ish minutes or something like that, a little bit longer. I say I give up. I cannot win. So next round, round three, match 3, we had 50 minutes on the clock left. So I knew that I could not play my normal game. I could not build my wall up. I could not play regularly. I'll need to be very aggressive and try to really throw my cards away to save my life. So I'll block a 5k, I'll block a 2k if it's really needful. If I have nothing in hand of 1k, I'll use a 2k. I'll be very
Mm-hmm.
aggressive. Playing aggressive kits and maintaining my life.
Yeah.
So I went into that really guns blazing, attacking life as much as possible, trying to ignore all the characters on the field. That was my main goal. And let's say that when it was time, I was 4 life into 1 life, but he had 7 cost on the field and another thing on the field, and my field was really not that well in my opinion. I needed to protect my life. I had 1 card in my hand, so he put me down to life, I think. And then it was my turn. I tried to swing again. He blocked again. Then it was his turn. He was going to put me on. Uh, he was putting me on one life, but I
Mm-hmm.
had Ben Gibson out of life, so I arrested his law. So he could not go for my life anymore because I had two seven costs on the field. So I blocked it then. So he rolled to one life. He played a killer. He gave a guard to killer. And then my turn, like the final turn, I swung two times with my leader for life. He drew a card with killer, and then it was that count. We both on one life. And after that count, it was 29 for me and 29 for me and 28 for the opponents. So I won because he played the killer and he gave it on to the killer.
Yeah.
So the trigger out of Ben Gibson and the card he gave were both part of the things I won, and also playing more aggressively. If I played passively, I would have lost in my opinion. So aggressively in a short time was the right choice in my opinion. And
Yeah.
then after that, I was playing far too long, two games into overtime straight. I did an interview after that. I had a toilet break of 1 minute. Then I was led straight to another table to play again, and my head was not really into it. So I lost. It was Hitler again. The first match he had the perfect curve in my opinion, so I didn't do anything. A second match, my head was really hurting. I was not playing well. Like after 10 minutes, I say I stop. I cannot do anything. Like I was making mistakes by not blocking, countering correctly, but my mind was not into it. I already had top four. I was just too tired to play. So yeah, after I think we played for 25 minutes, I say I give up. I cannot do anymore. You win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I got my prizes, got something to eat, and went to the hotel and just slept for 5 hours because I was that tired. I was happy it was over. Really
Yeah.
happy. Like I had a lot of fun, but I was happy that it just stopped. That I could have say, okay, the stress is down. Now we can
Mm-hmm.
just relax
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. 2 days of stress, and but you're doing very well. You are in top four in a 512 people event, the first Treasure Cup in Europe.
mm-hmm.
This yeah, all players need to respect them. This is very good. And
Thank you.
yeah, maybe I have one question.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk us against what deck you want to go first or second when you win the dice wall.
Uh, I always try to go first because I like to have a bunny or a bitch, and then when I can develop my Okiku, I can already the turn three. I can already interact with other person's boards. That's my main point. If I have bunny to Okiku and then into Hawkins or into Law or into like forecast Drake, I can already do stuff with his board. I can rest something, kill it with my leader, have board presence, play something else, or maybe another block on the field, and then when I have seven down, I'll play my seven cost, I'll not attack with a Kiku, and then I have my seven cost on the field, I could just keep swinging, just keeping his board under control, and then when I have time, play my eight cost on the field, or play Hawkins, or play something else on the field, so I have a large board presence, and once I have a good board presence and I'm feeling safe, I'll just go for his life. Once I'm set up, I'll end two turns normally, the game is always over.
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
So I also like to go first. I like to go first because when I'm not going first, he can interact with my board more. Like when you're going second against Law, he can play his own Kiku, he can rest my Kiku, he can give Dawn to his leader, try to kill it, or Nekomushi, he can interact with my board, and I don't like that. I
Yeah.
like to have been the first, and if he's like turn two, he plays Nekomushi 7k to Okiku. I have enough counters in deck, I counter out. Now I have a Bunny, I have a Kiku, he has Nekomushi in the field. So next turn, I can play like a Hawkins on the field. Now I have three things that he needs to interact with on the board. And Hawkins is most of the time not out. So if he's wasting again cards on a Kiku, now I'll let it die. I have Hawkins on the field. I'll play Sevikoff on the field, or I play Nekomushi to rest something, or I'll play another Kiku or Eustass sword. He's basically always behind. When you have first, you have more momentum, like 5 cost into 7 cost into 8 cost into more stuff. You can just have more pressure on the field. While going second, you always behind. You
Yeah.
always need to interact with others' boards more to have more momentum. Okay, you have 8 cost faster, but like I rather have the 7 cost and 8 cost on the field first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And yeah, this was the first question, and the second question is, how was the location and the event overall?
Uh,
So
like
it's the
it was
first treasure cup in Europe, and maybe some people are interested in to hear about something for the event overall.
okay. So the neighborhood was like, how can I say that? Like we were laughing about it, like it's like a crack neighborhood. Like it's a neighborhood like where you find people who do drugs, in my opinion. Like it's a very like with graffiti and everything, and like walking around in the area at night, I would not recommend it. Like
Okay.
it's like really like a back neighborhood in my opinion. So at night I was not feeling safe. Like also the road was closed down, so also not that clean in my opinion. Like a lot of trash everywhere because the road was closed down, so there are no trash, no things that could come collect the trash. So it's not. It was not like the most appetizing neighborhood in my opinion. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Birmingham is something else. It's England, so it's a big city, like a bit like Brussels. If people know Brussels or like any big city, it's more poverty and more trash, in my opinion. Like the venue itself was okay. It was a event room that was sometimes used for museums or some stuff like that and paintings. It was okay.
Mm.
Nothing spectacular. Nothing like the where we're sitting were good chairs. The tables were like decorated in in like black clothes or blue clothes. Like I'm a bit colorblind, so a little bit hard to see.
Yeah.
Uh, so the tables were decorated nice. The organization did a good job, in my opinion. The
Mm.
judges, everything was ruled okay for like for me. Like I don't know for other people. Like the judges, if they have questions, the judges would come. Prices were distributed fairly. The streaming were very nice people. I had a chance to talk both of them, and they're very nice.
Yeah.
Um, like when the online system of Limitless was well when you scored with it was automatically updated. So I don't have any complaints about the organization. Maybe a
Mm.
little bit more time between the top 8 and top 4 rounds because after match immediately play again. If you have a long match, okay, now who has time? You not on the stream. Okay, now you can go to stream. Like 1 or 2 minutes after match. Okay, now you can play again.
Yeah.
That may be a little bit too fast, but yeah, I can understand it. Like also need to move on.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, very cool to hear something about this. And yeah, at the end, you talk about your deck. You tell us how we play your deck and some ways. And at the end, maybe you want to give some shout outs to your friends, or maybe you are in a team or something else. Yeah.
Like I want to give a shout out to my girlfriend because she was accompanied me to the weekend
Mm.
and she really was my rock. After match, I always came to her like to have my moment of zen, like just to feel like say I told her how to play. She talked a bit so could relieve some of my stress. She like supported me like I hope you win and everything like stuff like that, and
Yeah.
also like the I think it's like the unofficial Discord server of One Piece, like the big one. I practice a lot of webcam boosts onto that, so shout out to the people I practice with online. It really
Mm.
helped me to become a much better player. I was on it for 2 weeks straight, each morning and each evening, just grinding out games, perfecting my deck, learning how other decks were being played. So that's really helped me become a better player. And like for Open 2, I'll do the same again, play each morning, each evening till there is a offline regional
Yeah.
to play, just becoming a better player.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
Something.
This is the shout out, and yeah.
Yes, that's shout out. Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
that's shout out.
Perfect. Then I would say this the deck profile is finished. Perfect. And thank you for the deck profile, Thibaut.
No
And
problem.
I hope I see you next time, and I won't play against you next time. I need to train for the next Treasure Cup in Karlsruhe. I don't came to England because I have no ticket, but in Karlsruhe I have a ticket and I will be there. And are you on in Karlsruhe in the Treasure Cup in Germany?
I didn't get a ticket. That's the main reason why I went to UK because I couldn't get a ticket for Germany. Was my main goal going to Germany. It was a bit closer than England,
Mm-hmm.
like it's also was a play like a bit closer. And like I said, more easier to travel to. That's more the right way.
Yeah.
But like I could get it, so I was doubting for 2 days, and after like day two, there were still tickets available in England. So I say to my girlfriend, yeah, what the heck? I'll just book a ticket. I'll go and I'll see how it happens. It's not cheap, but hopefully I'll win a chopper or win something else that I get my money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And top force, so I really cannot complain. I'm happy that I didn't get a ticket of Karlsruhe because else I would have never gone to UK and never would have been top four.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Yeah, and this is the deck profile and this finish. And thank you for the deck profile. And I hope I see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.